book called Modern Colored Pencil, A Playful and Contemporary Exploration of Colored Pencil Drawing by Chelsea Ward. This is the second book that I've done that is called Colored Pencils Playful. And one of the things that I feel adds to the playfulness of this book is the fact that she, again, has chosen to illustrate the book with the medium that she's talking about, colored pencils. And I just love that. In the beginning here, she talks a little bit about the reason that colored pencils have become so popular, which is they don't take a lot to take with you. You can take just your pencils and paper. They're very portable, not messy, not a lot to clean up. In the first part here, she goes through a few of the things that you will need and explains them. And right here, she gives a very useful tip if you're going to sharpen your pencils. Don't rock the sharpener back and forth. Twist it in one full circle. You'll get a much sharper point and you're going to get more use out of your pencils. She also uses glass jars, storing her pencils upright. I have a similar scenario here. I've got these bamboo holders, which I will put into the description section for you if you're interested. So she does some comparing of pencils and things. And this is a very interesting page where she shows you from beginning to end how you can use different marks to create different textures and a different look. Right here, she's asking you to draw some long rectangular shapes to practice using the same mark, lightest to darkest, to show how you can get shade variations into your drawings. And here she's talking about pressure, how much pressure you should use with the pencil and the differences in the shades that you're going to get. She's got some color wheel theory here with an example that you can photocopy, and you can do your own color wheel exercise using only 3 colors. Blending and burnishing. And she shows you through burnishing techniques how you can take a project from start to finish just by adding multiple layers and multiple colors, how you can get something to look very beautiful. And right here, again, I love this book because she takes a lot of projects from beginning to end, and you can see how she adds all those different techniques to bring about something that looks very real. Well, this section is very interesting because she's going to talk about working on toned paper. And there's many coloring books out right now that are grayscale that I've kind of shied away from coloring. And I'd love to hear from you in the comments if you have colored with grayscale coloring books, how you have found them to work with. But she actually gives us ideas and techniques and shows us the differences between coloring something on white paper and the toned paper. This section here, if you are a mandala artist or mandala coloring book artist, you're going to find this section on patterns very interesting. I love how she gives us color swatches, gives us ideas on how to use the colors. And again, she starts from beginning to end, showing us what it looks like up front, and then what we can have as we keep on going and adding more layers and textures. And then if you like to draw your own mandalas, this is going to give you some very good ideas on how to do that yourself. And so when we're coloring, we don't always need to be realistic. Here she takes a dandelion from a more realistic view, and then she decides to be more playful with it and just to use the simple shapes that the dandelion has to make something very beautiful. I always like looking at pictures of leaves because lots of coloring books have different leaves and we need to make them each different. Many of the pages are leaves only, and as you can see what she's done here using different colors and coloring techniques, we can make those pages look gorgeous. She's also very big on drawing everyday life, just taking your drawing book and a few colored pencils and sketching what you see. And this is going to help us as we are coloring in the coloring books as well as every day. I love the book, again, because she gives us ideas on the color swatches, the colors that we use to create something from beginning to end. Glass objects for me are always something that pose big challenges, and she's got a full section on coloring glass, the colorings that you use, showing you how to start it, and even doing something that's clear. These are everyday objects that we might find interesting to color. Again, more on coloring plants and the color swatches that she's using. Showing something in the black and white as well as the color. This is a section on doing monochromatic coloring to get your tones correct. And I've got a great book by Jade Summer, an architectural book. I've never really been able to get the brick just right, and so this section on doors, the shading of the doors and the brick window boxes, I find very interesting and helpful. And we'll use this technique the next time I do brick. Something I always do, I usually color my windows yellow to show white or show the light from within, but I really enjoy looking at that blue. I usually always color the full window yellow to show that light showing through, but as you can see, she's used some negative space and it looks beautiful. Again, more showing us more brickwork and architectural work. And this is showing how different that same drawing would be on a toned paper, which adds some color for you. So it just gives you a different look. This is landscape. Anybody got Bob Ross coloring books? This might help you out in coloring some of his stuff. And then we've got a section on animals. Beautiful kitty cat, realistic looking eyes, and dogs. Birds and other animals. As you can see, she is a very good sketcher. And then some of you who like to draw or color the people. And this was an amazing section here on coloring hair, telling us not to draw them just full on, but make sure that you leave some light. And about how every person's body style is different. It's very difficult to color or draw the same body style for every person, and she suggests that you really study the person. And then her closing subjects and her closing thoughts here were that you can take your pencils to the next level simply by being patient, taking your time, and using everything you've learned, but don't strive for perfection. Chelsea Ward's a very interesting person. You can go to her website, www.chelseawardart.com. And this is a book that I would definitely recommend that you purchase and